You see, the big question here is that, is tax a modern evil, or is it part of the bigger spiritual picture? In this episode, we are going back 4,000 years to see the ancient why. Long before computers, in places like Mesopotamia and Egypt, people realized they couldn't build city wall or pave roads by themselves. To have a safe city and a working government, everyone had to chip in. That's all tax really is. The price we pay to live in a civilized neighborhood is what we call tax. See Joseph's strategy in Genesis chapter 41. Joseph wasn't just a dreamer, he was a tax collector. In fact, he took 20% of the grain during the good years. Because of that tax, nobody starved when the famine hit. You can see, tax saved lives. Later in Exodus chapter 30, the first church taxed every man gave a half shekel. It wasn't about money. It was about making sure the house of God had the light on and the doors open. You can now see that even back then, God's people were contributing to both the state in Egypt and the church in the tabernacle. Do you remember the trap in Matthew chapter 22, where people tried to trip Jesus into saying, "Don't pay the Roman tax"? Jesus looked at a coin and asked, "Whose face is on it?" When they say Caesar, he tells them, "Give to Caesar what belongs to him, and give to God what belongs to him." The simple logic here is that if you are using the government's road and spending their money, pay the bill. But never give the government your heart, because that part belongs to God. In the book of Romans chapter 13, Apostle Paul didn't hold back. In fact, he called government workers God's servant. Why? Because they keep order. Paul says, if you owe tax, pay it. If you owe respect, give it. Therefore, fellow Christians, being a good Christian actually means being a good citizen first. You are expected to stay on the right side of the law so you can represent God with a clean record. We pay taxes to stay legal, and we give to God because of His grace. It's not one or the other. No, it's both. Now, I know what you are thinking. Does this mean every single kobo that enters a pastor's account is taxable? Does the church have to pay for every donation? That is exactly what we are diving into in our next episode. The new laws and how they affect our pocket and our ministry.